So we're actually going to be in the AMX 13 FL11 in this replay, guys. This is on Glacier, and you usually don't see a lot of Tier 5 games from me, but I ended up going and playing this vehicle because I really wanted to 3-mark it, and I just noticed that I I saw the expected values were really low, and I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to 3-mark it and get it over with because I honestly do not like this tank at all, man. I think the AMX ELC BIS, Spice, however you say it, is much better than this thing. To me, this thing is just a turd. The mobility is so bad. The gun is so bad. The concealment is pretty good, but that's really the only thing that this tank has going for it, man. I swear, like, I do not like this thing at all, but in my session, this is going to be the best game that I played. I did 3-mark this vehicle in some, like, I think it was like 50-something battles or maybe like 60 battles. And the expected values are only like, I want to say it's no more than like 1,100 a game. I think it was like 1,000 and some change a game is all you need combined to 3-mark this vehicle. So for me, that was fairly easy. I got it with a lot of spotting because, again, the gun on this thing was just driving me mad, man. I mean, I was like running up the wall, getting so frustrated trying to hit people with this vehicle and like the gun, man. It's just so trollish. So what I decided to do was just play it basically like the AMX ELC and just try and get to these areas, like sit in some grass and just stay there and play it like the even 90 at tier 5, right? And that's what I decided to do here. Someone's even trying to blind fire, but we were able to get a lot of spotting, and this was the game that got me that big jump from like 90% up to like almost 93% or something, 92 and some change. And that's what I needed, man, to mark this thing. I don't believe I saved the 3-mark game just because it wasn't even exciting. Like, I just got like, I don't know, 700 or 800 spotting and a few shots of damage, and we got it, right? Because I was so close to it as I continued to work my way up. Because again, man, when you play tier 5, like if you're pretty good at playing lights and you can mark like even 8s and 9s, I have some difficulty marking those vehicles, but if I've done that before, it's like tier 5, once you go back down, it's pretty easy even if you get some bad teams, man. And what I've noticed, guys, is that for whatever reason, at least when I was playing this vehicle, I kept getting on the losing team like a lot, man. I think my win rate over the course of maybe, what did I play, 25 battles or something like that to 3-mark this thing from where I was, I think my win rate was like 44 or 45% or something like that. And you can say that 25 games is not quite enough to really, you know, allow your win rate to level out, level off, whatever you want to call it. But man, it just felt like every single game I was having to do so much work, like put in so much effort just for the game to be close. And the reason I'm bringing you guys this game is because the end was extremely close, and I hit a blind shot that I'll never hit again. They started capping out. I'll just spoil that for you guys. They started capping out, and it was like a last-ditch effort to try and reset the cap because we were running from their base back to our base, and I just flung a shell, and it hit one of the vehicles and reset the cap. And I've done this a couple times before, guys, but like I'm telling you, when someone does this, you would think it's like a hack, right? Like it looks like they're cheating, but I'm telling you, like I just flung a shell and I hit it. I remember way back years and years ago, it was on Corellia. I was playing like the M12. I was playing Arty, right guys? I was playing Arta. And I flung a shell like all the way across the map on Corellia, and I was on the move. So I was on the move trying to go back to the cap to reset because it was just me and I think the enemy was like 2 Arties against 1 enemy, right, that was on our cap. And I just flung, I think I was even playing with my dad, and I just flung a shell. Like I aimed it in the artillery mode, and I just, as I'm on the move, I'm like, screw it. I just left clicked and it hit the guy and killed him. I could not believe that, man. Like, you will never, if you have hit a shot like this, guys, in World of Tanks, if you've hit the equivalent of a shot like that in World of Tanks, you will never hit it again. So I hope you saved it and you shared it with everybody. But yeah, man, I could not believe that. I'm pretty sure I showed it to my dad, and he was like in tears laughing so hard at it. I'm like, yeah, man. Like, yeah, this is, it'll never happen again, right, guys? And this probably will never happen again to me. But anyway, guys, let's get back to talking about this game. So I eventually advance here you guys could watch kind of as I'm talking, right? I'm trying to get a shot into this T-34-85M because I assume he's poking here, and that might be the reason why I'm seeing these like shells hit the dirt here, because I think he's the one trying to hit me from probably up here, but you never really know. I mean, I think that's the only place he could really be, right? Because it looked like he was up top there. And this is how I advance, guys. I do this even at the higher tiers. I like to knock these trees here just to see if anyone's like on this corner. You can kind of knock these trees out a little bit. But once I poked here for like half a second, I'm like, yeah, I don't see anybody. I think we're good here. And I sit in this grass here. And watch how I pick off this T1, man. I'm going to make you guys dizzy. But I'm picking off this T1, and this guy was just not a very good player, man. He's like kind of trying to hide, and I was just able to continue shooting him, and we're able to eliminate like 2/3 of his HP, and then the M10 goes around and is able to clean him up, and AMX is here, and now I want to go after this guy. I'm just going to run and risk my HP and go after him because I'm pretty sure that most of the threat is now over in the northwest, right? We've kind of confirmed that. I spot the gorilla here. We're eventually going to go after the gorilla. I'm trying to work with the M10 to get this area of the map won, because now we start losing this area of the map. And this is what I mean, man. I just felt like I'm over 3,000 combined already, and I'm pretty sure we're going to lose this game, right? And this is just what I was experiencing, right? This gorilla, unfortunately for him, couldn't shotgun me there, so we're still at full HP. And now that we've won this side of the map, I need to kind of go with the M10 to either reset the cap, like defend our base, or go for our cap. And the issue here is that I told the M10 to cap. Again, he's an average player. I'm not going to like crap on him, but if he got on the cap and then I went and cleaned up the gorilla and came back, I think we would have had the time to cap out and win this game. The problem is they got on the cap, and I knew that was going to happen, but the M10 was just too late to get back here. So the M10 gets on the cap, and it's 2-on-1 right now, but eventually they will get 3 on, and then the Wolverine comes up, and he, we still had 24 seconds left, right? The Wolverine comes up, he resets me, and I'm like, now I have to go after this guy. Otherwise, he'll just continue to poke. So I'm going to take one from this guy. I hit him in the track or something like that. Like, what the hell, man? Like, now RNG is going to mess with me, so I'm just going to take one more from this guy if I have to. I'm going to clean him up. And now I have to reset the cap, right? And watch this shell that I fling over, guys. And it ends up hitting the tiger, I'm almost positive. But watch this shot, guys. I'll give you my camera view on regular speed. Just watch this. So I'm just looking here. I'm like, right there. And 76 capture points reduced. Probably hit the tiger. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't know how I hit that, man. But then the tiger appears, and I'm like, it probably hit the tiger because the T-34 is over here, and it's just the bishop. So it was weird, man, because they had 3 on. I don't know what happened there, or maybe they only put 2 on. I might have been wrong, and it just the Wolverine distracted me, so I thought that they put 3 on. But the T-34 ends up here, which is a really good play on his part because this guy has such a great angle, right? So I'm going to kind of focus this shot. That one ends up hitting him because I can see that he gets spotted later on, and he's a one-shot. And now the M10 is trying to go after the tiger. I kind of wish this M10 just like was a little more safe with his HP, man, because he still had half of his HP. And then the T-34 pokes again, and at this point, right, the problem at this point, guys, is that there's only 28 seconds for me to reset the cap to go after the bishop. So at some point, I have to start making my way to the base, right? Like, I kind of wanted to go after the T-34-85M because I could have... I think that if I was safe about it, I could have eliminated both of these guys from the game, right? The Tiger is actually a one-shot if I kind of high roll. The T-34-85M is definitely a one-shot. But what ends up happening here is the T-34-85M kind of outplays me. And by him, in fact, I don't think the T-34-85M ever moved, right? He was probably up here the entire time. And by staying up here, he actually kind of won this game for his team. Because I'm going to go after the Tiger here. I hit the Tiger. And now I'm in a situation where, like, I can't really hit the bishop anymore. I would have had to hit him from out here, but I couldn't spot him until I got to this area. And now we have to try and run from the T-34-85. I'm trying to kind of hit this guy on the move and continue running away, but I have to also go and reset the cap. So, like, I'm in this situation where I'm in a, the T-34-85M has every advantage here. I'm trying to run away from this guy. This tank can't turn for shit. It's not fast. And there's just nothing I can do, right? Like, I can try and maybe stop next to the Tiger and get a shot at the T-34-85M, but then the bishop probably has a shot on me, right? So it's like there's just no winning scenario here, in my opinion. I had to rush the tiger, and from there, like, maybe we could have tried to run to this rock or something. But again, like, you only have so much time to reset the cap, and if I stopped, like, I would have had to keep going here and go up. Even then, I don't know if I would have had time to reset the cap. Just everything was working against me in this situation, if you know what I mean. And of course, we could have made a couple different plays. Like, I always tell you guys this, people like to make comments where they say, well, if you did this, if you did that, and hindsight, guys, hindsight, I always tell you, hindsight is 2020. Always, always. There's always things you could do differently. But in this situation, man, I think I played the game very, very well. We got 3 kills, 1274 damage, 2758 spotting. That was just visible. All that's just visible, right? But we had a blind shot on the T-34, and I also think we have some blind spotting. And I think I did everything I could in this game, man. I just couldn't see any other way to bring this back. I needed help from a few more players, and I just couldn't get it. And this is the way the games were going for me in the AMX 13, but we did end up marking it regardless. So this isn't the third mark game, but it was one of those games that led up to it, guys. And that's it. I have nothing more to say. I just think there was just no winning scenario here, right? Like, I don't think there was anything I could have done to win this game. If the bishop wasn't on cap, I think we could have won this for sure. I think so, because at this point, the T-34-85M, I could have even taken a shot from him, focused my shot, and then we could have went after Artie or whatever. But yeah, man, I'm glad I 3-marked this thing, because to me, this thing is just such a turd. I was so done playing it, man. Anyway, we'll get into the end plates, guys. I don't want to keep you for much longer. This video's 11.5 minutes now. This was a mastery, 3018 spotting, 1377 damage in a tier 5 light. This is almost 4500 combined, guys. It's like 4400 and some change, and I thought we did everything we could. I really, really, really do. I think we did everything we could. We were at 54 battles on this vehicle, just trying to get it so that it's not on the camera there, or underneath the camera. 54 battles we were up to on this thing, and I was at 92.74%. So I think it was like some 60 battles, somewhere probably between 60 and 65 battles, if I recall correctly. And this is not exactly what it was, but I'm going to assume my win rate was probably 59 or 60%, and we had about 830 or so, maybe 840 damage once I got up to 3-marking it, because I know that we played a little bit better after this game as well. So it was something like that, and I think the spotting was probably like close to 1,000 actually. Or no, I'm sorry, not 1,000. It was probably like, if I 3-marked it in 64 battles, because I think my spotting damage was actually close to my damage on this vehicle. I want to say it was like 700. Like, it was almost more than some tier 7s, right? Like, it's weird how some tanks work, man. Some tanks require you to do more spotting, some require you to do more damage. But when I was 3-marking both tier 6 light tanks that I 3-marked recently, the 5916 and the VK2801, I had to do like all damage in those tanks, man, especially the VK. But with this thing, I was doing a lot of spotting, guys, and you can see it's only 1,073 here for 3-marking this vehicle. So I was well over, and that's how I was able to mark it in like 60 battles. So I'm thinking that if you guys have this vehicle, you could definitely like at least 2-mark it with ease, man, if you wanted to go for marks. And that's all, guys. I have nothing more to really say about this. I'll show you the battle result, the team score here rather. And our Churchill and M10 played really, really well, man. We just needed a little more from at least someone down here, man. Like, I think our 2 light tanks, they didn't really do that great. I think the A20 had like a stock gun too. So when people play this game casually, you can't be mad, man. It's just, in order for us to win this game, we needed help from a couple more players that were down here, right? And they had 3 people do 0 damage. So it's not like they had great players on their team either. It's just they were slightly better than us, and yeah, their 131 played a really, really good game, man. So shout out to these 2 guys. They did well, and that's it. So here's the detailed report, and I'll let you guys go, man. By the way, this is how I was running this thing, and this is the last thing I wanted to touch on, guys. Bounty optics, bounty low noise exhaust, and this level 3 mobility system, the experimental equipment or whatever it's called. Here's the crew. Show you guys real quick, and that's all. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you for the next one. Take care. Bye bye.